This is Ben from the Railroad Yard and Hubcap Hobbies, and today Jake and I are out here in Arizona to take the train to the Grand Canyon. Now, we stayed overnight in the Railway Hotel. Jake was able to purchase a package to get the hotel stay and the train tickets all in one. It turned out to be really convenient as the rail depot is right behind the hotel, and just before boarding, they put on a Wild West show.
Folks, the rules to cowboy poker are, last man standing wins. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We had a little bit of time before boarding, so we walked to the front of the train. Leading the excursion was none other than Grand Canyon 4960. At 100 years old, 4960 is still under steam. The Grand Canyon Railway usually operates one of its steam engines on the first Saturday of every month. We just so happened to visit at the right time to get to go on one of these steam excursions.
Alright, let's get on. They're gonna sign like, hurry up. They're still alive, we're okay.
We boarded our car for what would be a 2-hour excursion to the Grand Canyon. We rode in coach class, but the railway also offers service in its first class Pullman cars, as well as its dome car. An interesting fact about the coach class cars, though, according to the Grand Canyon Railway's website, they originally operated for the Boston and Maine Railway as self-propelled RDC Bud car units. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the RDC, or rail diesel car, it's essentially a passenger car with its own engine and cab all built into one unit. The former RDC units that run here on the GCR are obviously no longer self-propelled and have been converted into standard passenger cars. As we pulled away from the depot, we passed through the GCR's rail yard and got to check out some of their other equipment. We went on this excursion in early March, and if you haven't noticed already, there's quite a bit of snow on the ground. Now, if you're like me, associate the desert with hot and dry weather. Instead, the temperature was right around the mid-40s to the low 50s. So if you want that more stereotypical desert experience, I'd wait till the spring or early summer. As we made our way further along, the landscape started to change and it started to look a lot more desert-like. And at times you could even see the steam from the engine blowing through the landscape. As we neared the canyon, the landscape changed to a more forest-like setting. I found it hard to believe that we'd be arriving at the Grand Canyon shortly. 15 minutes later, we arrived at the train station. We then got off and walked up the trail to get our first view of the canyon. When I put these videos together, sometimes I worry I'm going to give away too much of the experience. However, with the Grand Canyon, trying to capture its unbelievable depth on video is almost impossible. Now, I know people say this all the time, but the Grand Canyon really is one of those places that you have to visit in person to fully appreciate. We had 3 hours to hike and explore, but we made sure to get back to the train early to get a closer look at 4960. "4960 was originally used by the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad. It's a 282 Mikado type locomotive built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works. The Grand Canyon Railway purchased the locomotive in 1989. It was originally coal-fired, however in 1996 it underwent an extensive rebuild and was modified to burn used veggie oil in place of coal. We then boarded the train for the return trip back to Williams, Arizona. As we pulled back into Williams, we caught a glimpse of Grand Canyon 29, the railway's second steam locomotive. Our adventure then finally came to an end. We had been wanting to visit the Grand Canyon for years, and I'm proud to say that we finally did it. And I feel incredibly lucky that our excursion there was powered by steam. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more railroad adventures, be sure to subscribe.